Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Jeff Admon. I'm an engineer and an economist out of New Orleans, Louisiana. I represent a Dutch company whose name is Hibo Maritime. Over a month ago, with my request, my company approached the Dutch government and the Dutch Coast Guard, RWZ Noordzee, and made them aware that this disaster is going to be a real disaster. In their generosity, the Dutch government and the Ministry of Transportation and Waterworks offered immediate assistance to the United States and to my state of Louisiana with an offer of 4 Cossack rigid sweeping arms, which are known to be worldwide the most efficient oil cleaning equipment available. This has been used by the Dutch Coast Guard for approximately 20 years. It was used in the original 1991 First Gulf War with great efficiency. It was used in the Prestige oil spill off the coast of France with great efficiency, off of Spain, I'm sorry, and the Erika oil spill off the coast of France with great efficiency. In fact, 80% of the oil cleaned up from those tremendous spills were done using these Cossack rigid arm booms, or sweeping arms, we should call them. Now, Captain Stanton, I agree with you 100%. Every barrel or every gallon of oil that isn't cleaned up in the water, is going to hit the shore. Since April 29th, I have been working tirelessly, as has my company in Holland, 24 hours a day, contacting British Petroleum and presenting them with this official offer from a foreign government to help these people that you see here lined up that are really suffering. And I've heard one thing back from British Petroleum for over 3.5 weeks, and that is, we are evaluating this equipment. Please be patient. Now, every day of patience is another day of disaster for their families and their children and our entire state. Now, as an engineer, I can tell you the word evaluating is used when you don't know if something works. Now, if something has been proven to work for 20 years, why isn't BP taking any action? Now, the big question you're hearing, the major question you're hearing from this audience right now is the question of dispersants. Dispersants are a chemical approach to cleaning oil. This offer from the Dutch government is a mechanical method of cleaning oil. It's a large boom that goes in the water and acts as a giant vacuum cleaner and sucks up the oil. In fact, we are documented with data from European agencies and The Hague, and I know that the Coast Guard, the U.S. Coast Guard, is aware of it, that in low viscous oil, this equipment per boom can clean and suck up into a vessel over 2,000 barrels per hour. With 4 arms, you're talking 8,000 barrels per hour. In a high viscous oil, it can clean, never has it cleaned less than 700 barrels per hour over its 20 years of history. Now, our offer to BP was very simple and very clear, and I think it made sense 3.5 weeks ago, which said it's going to take time to plug the hole at the bottom of the seafloor. So why don't we create a radius of 4 to 5 miles around the stake and contain the oil, and not just contain it, but clean it. BP claimed that 5,000 barrels were leaking per day. I just told you that the capacity of this is greater than 5,000 per hour. Now, over a certain area, fine. it would take a little longer. But if BP reacted to this within the 3.5 weeks that we've been offering it, maybe 80% of the oil that was in the water wouldn't be up against the shores. Now the Dutch government, the government of Holland, calls me to ask me and my company, why isn't anybody utilizing our offer? In a way, it's an insult to us. Why don't you take the offer? They're making it available. We've been offering it to you with personnel from Holland, with local ships that we can rent, with local crews. We were ready to mobilize, and we're still ready to mobilize within 48 hours. And I keep getting emails back from people in Homa, and I was at Homa. In fact, they wouldn't even let me inside. I had to sit outside at a little table. But I spent half an hour with a gentleman from the Coast Guard and a gentleman from BP, and they were fully aware of this equipment. And why do I keep hearing the same response? And everything I have is documented and in writing. In fact, over 500 emails I have documented and in writing. And repeatedly, I'm hearing the same response, which is, we're evaluating, please be patient. Now, our offer still stands, and the Dutch government's offer still stands. I have a video which is available for anybody who'd like to see it to watch. I have paperwork that I've distributed all around the state. There are people in this audience that work for the state of Louisiana that can attest that I've been pretty much all around here, and I've been trying to get through to BP. Now the offer stands. We have mechanical equipment, which is the most proven equipment and efficient equipment in the world, that can be put in the water within 48 hours. Why doesn't BP react? Can you please answer me?
So I think you've made an effective pitch. Captain Stanton said he was interested, and Captain Stanton is running a big part of the response. I'll let him speak for himself.
I appreciate it.
If BP doesn't react, we will.
I'll give you all the paperwork now, Captain, and we'll take your word here, because we want to see these people help.
There's a young man right behind you who came to the door of my command post, and I happened to see him, and he came to talk to me, and I took him in, and I let him talk to all the experts. Now, we didn't make him happy because we didn't buy his product, but, you know, I unfortunately cannot pay that much personal attention to every single person. I'd like to, but doggone it, if they won't, we will.
I appreciate it.
BP already brought in, at great expense, Nofi Boom from Norway. I don't see why we shouldn't take the Dutch up on their offer.